Hello, and welcome to Chinese Folktales. This is Beibei. Today, I'm about to tell you the most well-known folktale in China. But it's a rather sad one. The reason why we waited till now to tell this story is because the Queen Mother of the West plays an important role in it. She was known not just for her peaches of immortality, but also for separating a loving family and for the Chinese Valentine's Day. The story starts with a good-natured young man who grew up an orphan and became a cowherd. He lived with his old ox, and life was not just poor, but also lonely. Every day, the cowherd took his old ox into the field, which was nothing but small patches of hilly land. But he was hardworking and could feed himself and his ox. One day, while the two were tilting the field, the old ox opened his mouth and started talking. He said to the young man, "Go to the lake downhill. A fairy will arrive from heaven. She will be wearing a heavenly gown, the color of the evening glow. Take that gown and hide it. She will stay." That's one crafty ox. A beautiful fairy taking a bath? That's too tempting a scene to be missed. The young man went to the lake the next day and waited for the fairy to descend from heaven. And descend she did, a beauty dressed in a flowing robe, the color of the setting sun. Why was her gown so beautiful? Well, guess what? She was the weaver girl for the Queen Mother of the West. Weaving was her thing. The weaver fairy bathed in the river, but she looked so very sad. Fairies were supposed to live carefree lives that was the envy of humans. But as it turned out, the Queen Mother of the West worked her fairies hard. It was weaving day in and day out, with no one to talk to. Don't forget, the Queen Mother was someone who lived in a mountain cave all by herself before moving to the heavenly palace. The only pleasure for the weaver fairy was when she stole away and came down to earth for a bath in a tranquil lake among the hills. But she couldn't stay for long, or else the Queen Mother would notice. Before the sad expression had even left her face, it was time to return. The fairy got out of the lake while the cowherd was secretly watching. She looked for her gown, but it was nowhere to be found. It was no good stealing away from heaven, and it was even worse if she got caught, all naked. Poor fairy! The cowherd could no longer stand to watch, or crouched more like it. He came forward and bowed. He admitted to taking the gown and handed it over. The young man happened to look rather handsome that evening. He probably bathed and shaved that day for the occasion, and the two lonely souls started talking. I like how they make it in videos. Little sparkling red hearts started flowing between the two. They talked about their own sad and lonely existence. The talk went so well that the fairy decided on the spot that it would be much better to just stay in the mortal world. This young man is so much better as a companion than that slave driver Queen Mother boss of mine. She was not going back. So the two got married and had two wonderful kids, a boy and a girl. Every day, the cowherd went to the field with his ox, as usual, and the fairy weaved at home and took care of the kids. It was still a hard life, but the house was warm with laughter. They were not lonely anymore. But maybe the weaver girl had a constant fear in her heart, like a dark cloud hanging over her head. One day, that dark cloud descended, bearing divine soldiers, right in their courtyard. The weaver girl knew who they were and why they were there. It was pointless to resist. The soldiers from heaven captured the young mother to take back to heaven. Her young children heard the commotion and came out to look for their mother. They cried so hard that the cowherd heard them and rushed back home. He grabbed his wife's hand, refusing to let go. But they were going against immortal powers. They did not have a chance. The soldiers from heaven took the weaver girl and flew up to the sky, leaving her husband and her kids with broken hearts. At night, the kids cried themselves to sleep, and the cowherd sat in the cold and lonely hut, staring into the darkness. It was then that the old ox spoke again. He came to the cowherd and said, "Don't give up. I was once a star in heaven, and it's about my time to go back. After I die, peel off my skin, put it on your back, and you will be able to fly. Then go and find your wife." With that, the old ox died. Could things get even sadder? The cowherd did as he was told. He also made 2 baskets to carry his children. He put them on the 2 ends of a bamboo pole, put on the cape made with the skin of the old ox. In an instant, he flew up to the sky, carrying his kids in the baskets. Soon, the weaver girl, who was back at work in heaven, heard the cries of her dear kids. She thought she was dreaming, and without thinking or losing a second, she rushed out to see where those cries were coming from. It was a thrilling moment for the young mother to see her children, who she thought she might never see again. But just before the family was to be united, the Queen Mother of the West appeared. How could a transgression of this scale escape the attention of the Queen Mother? She took a golden pin from her hair and struck it across the sky. The Milky Way formed, like a river in the sky, separating the soon-to-be united family. The weaver girl, with tears running down her cheeks, stood on one side, while the cowherd and her kids stood on the other. All the other fairies in the celestial palace were saddened by what they saw. Even the Queen Mother of the West couldn't bear it. She said to the weaver girl, "You abandoned your post in the heavenly palace, so you will be punished. I allow you 1 day every year, on the 7th evening of the 7th moon, to reunite." So came the Chinese Valentine's Day, the 7th of July by the lunar calendar. Ever since that night, the cowherd and their kids also lived in heaven, separated from the weaver girl by the Milky Way. They became 2 stars, the Altair and the Vega, with 2 smaller stars close to the former. The yearly reunion of the family is a noisy and festive matter. All the magpies from Earth would fly up to heaven, forming a bridge across the Milky Way. The cowherd, the weaver girl, and their kids would meet in the middle, a reunion on the Magpie Bridge. Isn't this the saddest Valentine's Day story ever? Of course, we know that the stars Altair and Vega came first, and then came the story, which moved generations of the Chinese people. Everyone in China, including little kids, knows about the Cowherd and the Weaver Fairy. And there is a tradition to sit under the grapevines on this night, the 7th of July on the lunar calendar, to quietly listen to the whispers between the two lovers and see if we can hear the loving words they say to each other. And most likely, this is a night that little kids first hear of the Cowherd and the Weaver Fairy story. Maybe they existed, maybe they did not. But in our next episode, we will talk about someone who actually existed, but has almost gone mystical. Who is it? Well, let's wait and see. That's it for now, and we'll see you next time. This is a China Plus podcast. Special thanks go out to Sanlian Zhongdu for their help in creating the content for this show. If you like the podcast, please give us a rating and be sure to subscribe wherever you listen. If you've got any questions or feedback, please feel free to contact us via email at podcast@cri.com.cn or find us on Twitter, China Plus Pods.